RV Camping, a beginner's guide to RV living and lifestyle, by Olivier Brad. Narrated by Jack R. James. Introduction. Living in a rolling house has its own set of challenges: energy autonomy, liquid management, space. Here's how we manage to live 4-in-a-box camper without too much to walk on the feet. Living in an RV is challenging. Managing resources, water tanks and personal space. Here is how 2 adults and 2 kids manage to survive living in a truck camper. Living in a full-timer VR, as the English-speaking expression says, or living in a permanent RV, is a lifestyle choice that is made for the specific purpose of choosing a place or a constantly renewed environment. Living in VR all year round is a change of scenery to the rhythm of the seasons, finding friends and acquaintances in the most unexpected places, and discovering little paradises as often as you want. Far from the routine and the obligations, life in VR permanently becomes a way of life, more and more popular, particularly among the retired people, but also in the people who work by the internet and which can henceforth do it anywhere. Of course, in Quebec, most people who live all year in RV live for the south during the winter months. The harsh and demanding climate requires either the departure to warmer skies, such as those of Florida or Texas, or the acquisition of a recreational vehicle designed specifically for specific climatic conditions, such as motorized Prevost conversions, which counts, among other benefits, exceptional insulation and special thermo windows or titanium products, 4 seasons, also designed to cope with the bad weather of the 4 seasons. Having less allows us to avoid debts, stress by raising money to meet expenses, and payments of the month, have more time to do other activities, and favours detachment from material things. If there is something I have learned living as an independent, it is that less is more, and the flexibility that minimalist life gives you is liberating. Ensure that the resources we use are used. It is a simple way to live, and no longer affects the planet. That when we have fewer things to take care of, we have plenty of time to enjoy others. If so, there are basic things you need to know before you change your lifestyle. For some people, it's great, but for others, it can be a very negative change. So, it's not easy to have a minimum idea of what's waiting for you living in a motorhome. Your personal things. You must decide if your possessions are more important than your desire to live a simpler life. You will have to go through things like selling or renting your usual house to others, getting rid of furniture, works of art, anything that takes up a lot of space, and maybe even your pet. Living in a limited amount of space makes comfort and privacy more important. You should make sure that the unit is large enough to feel comfortable. When choosing a place to live, it is better to prefer a mild climate that is not very variable throughout the year. The popularity of these vehicles has a clear justification, and it is that, with an economic model based on the construction market, those who previously used their savings to buy a second home in a leisure destination now prefer to invest less money, even something that, of step, lets you enjoy a small home anywhere. Now, if you are one of those who has always wanted to travel in a big way by road, and at the gas stations you look with envy at the families that travel in luxury in these vehicles, you should know that it's not as easy as it seems. There are many types, and all have their pros and cons, depending on the use we want to give. The first thing is to define the motorhomes. For the manufacture of these vehicles, the specialist companies of the sector commission brands, chassis, cabin configurations,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?